Hello, everyone. In Leona here again. I thought I would continue my conversation on socialism. I went for my workout as I normally do, a little bit early today, but I felt like a walk, a longer walk. I love how Californians are so sly and petty. I didn't mention in the last podcast that brother man says to me, "Hey, I only see you. There's why don't you go for a long walk, a longer walk than you normally do?" And it's just like, really? I didn't know that you were interested in me, that you time how long I go for a walk. Because I go for a walk longer, but then I got a white bitch while I'm trying to fucking work out say, hello. And I'm just like, I ain't got shit to say to you. I ain't got shit to say to you. Like, you and the rest of your crew say people of color have some rude attitudes. And it's just like, yeah, I guess I would be rude too if I try and leave my door and I have some mysterious package in front of it so close to Martin Luther King Day. Yeah, I guess I would be that person who finds no reason to be cordial after that. So, whatever. Oh, and by the way, like, who in the world is trying to put coins and buried treasure in would at some point own my own gym? But that's just a shitty capitalist attitude. Like, people want to do fads all the time. It's just like CrossFit is a fad. Some people it is that that's your life. That's what saved you from being fat and having larger man titties like I do. I'm not even wearing a bra. You think I should? I mean, they're so fucking heavy and jiggly. I mean, just look at them. They're on display. But I don't do, I don't do CrossFit. I don't. I work out in the way that I do. Get my blood pumping, and I keep moving. That's all. Capitalism is not the enemy of socialism. It's just another way of thinking. Like, you can have a society that does both. Oh, hello there, C7N. Hello. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution. And I'm just showing off my man tits today as I'm just stressed. I'm just completely fucking stressed. And when I get stressed, I bring out Hugh. I hold him so close to me, so close to my man titties, because it's all I have. I don't have much in life. I don't, but I got Hugh Jackman right next to my man titties on display. But yeah, socialism, socialism, blah 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 blah. I'm sorry, and I didn't sleep well. I didn't. And living in America, living as I do, is just, it's so much. It's so much PTSD. In California, in its own way, is like, we're trying to save you. We're trying to save you. It's just, you wouldn't have to save me if you were part of the solution. If you were Part of the solution, you wouldn't need to rescue me. You would just have a safe space. People are all up in arms about ICE agents and the federal government being so aggro when it comes to national defense. You're entitled to your feelings. You're entitled. But could you also see a point where, hey, there's no reason not to be somewhat cautious? I know I have an accent, and I know some white person sees my fucking beard, and it just makes you think Muslim, Muslim. It's just like, I'm not Muslim. Number one, nothing wrong with it, but I mean that's not my faith. But two, some scrutiny isn't bad. If you got shit to hide, then yeah, I guess scrutiny is bad for you. But if you don't, if you just live in your life, just accept a little bit of scrutiny. The police want to fucking take my passport. It's like, can I have a photo of it? I'm like, for your phone. So you always have my phone. I'm sorry, you always have my picture on your phone. You always have my birthday on your phone. I should have said no, but it's the police. You're supposed to trust the police. You're supposed to cooperate with the police. They're supposed to be respectful and respectable enough that if they make a request like that, you say, well, I ain't got shit to fucking hide. And if you use my info on you legalizing Felix, because you already legalized marijuana. So why not just go the next step? But think about it this time. Think about it carefully and say, there is a way to go about it where it's not people are taking tabs of acid in the middle of the street or on the road. You celebrate it. You use it like it's supposed to be used, because they legalized marijuana, cannabis. They legalized it here in California, but they didn't explain to people how to use it. They didn't say to people, do you know that that is a sacred plant? It's a sacred plant. It's not a party drug. People treat it like a party drug. People treat it like an antidepressant. No. What you should do is allow shamans into your life. Allow shamanism to guide California toward LSD and other psychedelics. Moving forward into the future, we can't be held back by this preconceived notion that psychedelics are harmful and not integral to our evolution. Look, I want to stay and fight the good fight. I'm just not going to put up with LA bullshit throughout California. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's some people who want to fight. They do, and I don't know how I'm supposed to say it, so I'm going to get this wrong, but hopefully I get it right eventually. When the South seceded from the Union, it was for several reasons. In some ways, they were holding on to the past. I'm trying to dance around a couple of things that are unspoken, but if you need that conversation, you can have it by yourself. The Union has always been seen as, well, they were the right ones because, number one, they won, and two, they had the moral high ground. That was a long, long, long time ago. And if anything, I am an American historian. So let's go back in time and look a little bit further. The South was trying to maintain several things. One of the things that they were trying to maintain, in a way, and I'm trying to dance around this part, was the idea of anti consumer, anti mechanization. Those states, without the future prophecy, without the precognition to see how far we have fallen, we're trying to preserve their independence, quite literally. But when the Union started moving into factories and canning and everything, they were moving away from fresh food. They were moving away from the idea that food is good for a short period of time. You eat it while it's fresh, you trade for it, but you eat food. You eat food, but you have your own food. You might trade for other things that you might need, but you always had food. You always had autonomy over your life. But the North thought they knew better. So they started canning things, they started refrigerating things, they were moving toward a future. But that future was filled with preservatives. That future was going to be filled with genetically modified foods. That future was filled with the enslavement, not just of Black people, but of all people. Because what would be a bigger collar around the neck than we control what goes into your mouth? You can say what you want. Freedom of speech is it's freedom of speech. But America, because of that schism that they had, moved toward a future where your right to have good, healthy food has been taken away from you. It's been limited. And to all the people who say, well, I would start a backyard garden, or there's a community garden, isn't that it comes out the ground? Or the yield is amazing. So many fresh food that come out of this garden. But you might end up going to your doctor, and your doctor says, "Hey, you got cancer, or you have heavy metal poisoning." Still think it's a good idea to eat processed foods. Still think it's a good idea to not ask questions of yourself, like, who am I? Or what does it mean to care about your own health? I'm going to read what Moon has said here right now. Um, and the blonde, judge not lest thou be a. And the vibes were holy, and the snacks were multiplied. That's a cool quote. I have to admit that did make me chuckle. And thank you for coming by. Welcome to the revolution. In between jiggling my fat man tits next to Hugh Jackman, I talk about socialism. I talk about this idea that corporate greed and capitalism blinds you to some truths. Some truths when you're a poor person and you need to be informed, and some truths when you're a rich person and you need to be informed. Rich people are being taken advantage of by corporations, by institutions, by the entire medical profession, because these people don't have a vested interest in keeping you healthy. They say in the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm, but how many doctors ask, well, yeah, but what are you eating? Or are you getting enough sleep? Or how's your sex life? They don't ask anything. They just say, tell me what you think is wrong, and I'll give you something to make it go away. If I didn't have the terrible PTSD that I have, I would have been in medical school. I would have learned as much as possible and then immediately fucking reject them for being white bullshit and stick to my native roots, but also have surgical skills, something that I don't have. And I really should be more butthurt about that as a medicine man. But half of medicine is making sure that the body is healthy enough that you don't need to cut into it. That's the problem with Western medicine. I say it's white bullshit. I have to, because that's the prevailing Western medical theory. It's white bullshit. They don't ask native people for their input. They don't ask indigenous people for their input. They don't ask Asian people for their input. They don't ask black people, what do you think about medicine? It just comes from a place of ignorance, pure ignorance of the human body. Just because you can label it and give parts names doesn't mean you understand how they work. It doesn't mean you understand what the body needs. I'm going to build a town. Right now, it is male only. I am trying to build a community for men to come, learn, develop, grow, conserve your health, and gain the benefits of socialism. Gain the benefits of saying, well, sure, I might maybe have to live with other men, but maybe not. Maybe I build a lean to, or maybe I build a shack, or just put a tarp up. Or I don't know. But I have my own space. I have private space to be made without someone cajoling you, or trying their hardest to persuade you to make more money. Make more money and people will love you. Make more money and you'll be happy. No, money is good. Money can be used for good, but also how's your health? Why don't you make that your focus? Because no amount of money can buy that back once it's gone. Since I'm all about the oversharing, I'll just talk about it. Because I am colored, because I am of color, I have a slew of medical issues that should have been bestowed upon me. Why? Because I'm a fat bastard, and I got jiggly fucking titties, and I eat the wrong things most of the time. But I escaped all of it. The rest of my family succumbed, and I had to break away from my own family and just say, whatever you guys are doing, I can't be a part of that, because I got to stick to being indigenous. I got to stick to my true family's roots, because what's been forced on people of color is a reaction to forced malnutrition over generations. You don't think that you can feel your ancestors, feel your lineage, but you do. That's what overeating really is. You could selfishly say that it's your personal issues, your depression, your anxiety, your lack of self esteem, Or you might say, well, there was an ancestor of mine that struggled. They were poor. And to compensate for that, I have to eat a little bit more. Something to think about. Something to think about. The man is gorgeous and fit and fit. The biggest lie that we tell ourselves, the people that are on television, people in the cinema, they have lives that we can't have. I don't think that way. I think their lives are different, but they're not unattainable. If you want the level of fitness that they have, it might come off as a sacrifice, but it could also be a letting go, a cathartic release of things that weigh you down, bring you down, and keep you stuck. There are some burdens that are heavy. It takes strength to fight through that. To say that some burdens do make you stronger because you have to fight a little bit harder. Notice I said fight, not struggle more. If you're struggling more, then you do have to address that. Hmm. America is a different country. It looks at itself and says, I reject this. In 1776, you rejected English rule. Let's see where it got you. But for the Civil War, I just don't know what you gained, but I do know some things that you lost. There was a peace, a serenity. There were also some horrors. Famine. Famine is terrible. Pestilences is terrible. Whole crops could just go. Sometimes them in the town had to come together and say, we'll get you back on your feet. Or a frost would come. But the crops, they're ready. Or they have to be saved, harvested a little earlier. The town would come together again and say, sure, we'll help you out. We'll take a little bit too, but we'll help you out. Or maybe you'll give a more fair price. In the Union, that we are because of that, because the Union won. We don't have that sense of community anymore. We don't have that sense of there are things that are intrinsically yours. The right to grow and enjoy your own food, the right to live on your land and raise your kids your way. I'm a futurist, I'm a big tech nerd, but I'm also an indigenous person that taps into ley lines and casts magic when I can. There is a future in tech, but there's also a future outside of it. I wish America could speak more about what kind of country they want. Because a lot of people, they protest, they protest, they protest, but if you really want to protest, decide what you want for your community and be that. You disagree on any issue at all, then it's on you to build something. SAAN. What we all need now is a good prayer. Putting energy into the universe is always a good idea, but we need action. We need action because I talk a lot. I talk a lot. But when it comes to things that are important, such as solar energy or rebuilding the road systems that we have here and the bridges that we have here, that requires effort, that requires some money or just an understanding that it needs to get done. Americans don't have that in them anymore because they have been taxed or billed, invoiced into submission. How much is your rent? Is it worth your voice? Is it worth your freedom? How much is your food? Is it worth your enslavement? Is it worth your health? I'm a socialist. I believe in universal income for everyone. I believe in free energy for everyone. Why? Because if you start doing that, people start thinking of we and us and waking up and saying, God damn it, if no one repairs those goddamn fucking bridges, they will collapse. If no one repairs the roads, there will be major accidents. But you can't think that way because every fucking month, every fucking day, these people get in your face and say, do you want food? Okay, that'll cost you money. Or do you want electricity? Oh, yeah, you do. I know you do. Here, give me some money. I'll give you. I'll give you it. I would love it if your utility company would sexy talk you into paying for things that should be free, but they don't. They just put a bill in front of your face and say, "Pay it now, or we turn it off." I always go to the story of a young mother or a young father with kids, and they get let go from a job, and then they have to pack up all this stuff from the office. They're all sad and dejected. Nobody gives them any eye contact. It's just like, I don't want to be next. And out the door they go. Out the door they go. And as they're walking out, they say to themselves, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I go from here. I don't know how I'm going to feed myself. I don't know how I'm going to feed my family. I don't know how I'm going to house them. There are so many socialist programs in America that America should stop pretending like socialism isn't who you are to. There are safety nets and safety nets and safety nets. I don't even bother using it because that itself is sometimes a crutch, because it speaks to a larger issue. Unemployment is not an issue, it's a symptom of a larger hole in our psyche, a hole in our consciousness that would be filled with community. I'm not telling you to fuck your neighbor's wife, but some of your neighbors may have food, extra food. They're not even fucking eating it. Why not share? Why not share the money that they would spend on extra food sometimes and say, here you go? Or why don't you go to some place where you could grow your own food and regain some of your honor that you lose when you sign up for a job that takes away your rights? I signed up for the military and I was let go from that company. I was also sexually abused by that company, so I didn't really want to be part of that company after that. And because I struggled under capitalism for so long, I didn't think of where do I go from here? Who am I? Who am I besides the disabled American veteran, the broken person who sees people who remind them of the sexual abuse during military service and either runs or cries or has very messy nightmares because of that, because of that, because of the torture, because America decided to torture an American citizen. Because when you sign on to the military, you're supposed to be signing on to the United States, the American way of life. I signed on to protect my people, to protect my state, see something, say something, be a part of the solution. I didn't sign up to exploit people. I didn't sign up to ignore their cries for help. America cries out for help all the time, and the government says we're too busy. We're too busy to do anything about it. I think that's bullshit. I do. I also think it's bullshit that we're not helping each other. If I want a free solar energy California, I'm going to have to spend some busy time, spend some money building solar panels by hand and giving it away for free. I'm a disabled veteran. I have nothing else to do besides run from women. I might as well use that time to make solar panels so no one has to experience blackouts or have to pay into a system that oppresses them. But I have PTSD and I've just been abused too many times. So I have to take my good intentions and just go the step further. Build a solar powered town, quaint little village for men that they can enjoy most of the luxuries that they had already, but with the freedom that they've been missing. The American concept of money is limiting because it doesn't go to the true value of us, the community. The wealth of the nation is its people. I wish America cared more. I wish America could look at itself and say, you deserve better than smog in the air. You deserve better than eating terrible food because you're conditioned to pay the least amount so that you can afford something to eat and keep the lights on. I think that's a horrible attitude. That's a horrible attitude for America to have in 2026 when everything could be made so much easier if you just said, we can't fix everything, but we can keep the lights on for free. There are subsidies. Yes, yes, there are subsidies. But why should you have to pay it all? Why? There is so much energy pouring out of the sun. It sets the sky on fire with lights. Not literally on fire, but the whole sky lights up. There's so much energy pouring out of the sun, it goes straight through you. X-rays, ultraviolet. It may take a little longer. It may bounce off thanks to your skin, hopefully. but that's a lot of energy. My name is Ian Leona. I am an environmentalist, human rights activist, mutant superhero, werewolf, and fast. I'm trying. I'm trying to improve upon that. The first step is admitting I got a great pair of tits. My name is Ian Leona. I hope to see you on the next podcast.